everybody. How are you doing today? I am so happy that you're here with me. This is our weekly live stream. It's your chance to ask me any question that you would like to ask me. Anything about your business or about negotiations or about staging or about anything having to do with real estate. That's what I'm here for. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all the people who are joining me in Zoom right now. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, and whether you're watching me right now in the live stream and just watching it from our Facebook group, or if you're here in the Zoom room, go ahead and put in where you're from. Tell me where you are from. Absolutely. Oh, this is always so fun because we have people all over. Oh, okay. San Antonio, fantastic, fantastic. Maple Valley, Washington. I love that. McLean, Virginia. Great. LA. I love that. How about for you guys who are in watching us from the Zoom or watching the Zoom in the live stream on the Facebook group? Make sure that you go ahead and put it in there as well. I like it. Los Angeles, California. Fantastic. Bozeman. Okay, Bozeman, Montana. Hey, we're all over the place. Hawaii. We've got someone from Hawaii. I love that. Hey, guys, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. Okay, do me a favor. If you have a burning question, and I did have one submitted to me that I do want to talk about. Having said that, if you guys have a burning question that you would love for me to answer, go ahead and put that either in the comments in the Facebook group, or you can put it right here in the chat. So I'm giving you just a second to do that. And one of the reasons that we do this particular live stream every week is really just getting you an opportunity to talk to a coach. Sometimes a lot of you guys might not be in coaching. You might not have that opportunity to really talk to a coach. So I try to make myself available so you're here and I can get your questions answered for you. I'm just going to take a real quick peek over at all of our folks who are watching from the live stream right now. Great. All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start off with this question because I think it was really important. I'm going to share my screen and the person asked to remain anonymous. So I'm going to let them remain anonymous. But this is really the question. And the question was, how do I combat the feeling of overwhelm and shutting down? Now, here's my question. How many of you guys feel that feeling of overwhelm? And when you get overwhelmed, you shut down? Do me a favor, type me in the chat, or go ahead and type me in the comments in Facebook if that is you, if you felt that way before. Just type me in the comments. Me, sometimes. Yes, sometimes. Okay. So I think this is probably one of those things that is very common for people. All right. I want to chat with that for just a second, because here's what I normally hear people say. It's that they've got so much going on, they don't know which way to turn. Maybe they forgot to do their lead generation today, or they weren't able to do the lead generation today, and maybe not the next day, and all of a sudden they feel overwhelmed and then they stop lead generating. Or maybe there's a project that you need to do, but you really don't want to do it. So you kind of procrastinate to the point, and well, now it's gone so far, and then you get overwhelmed. And then you know what happens? You start shaming yourself. You start, oh, I should have done that. I suck. I'm awful. I'm all those kind of things. And maybe you're not that bad, but when we're talking about mindset and in this business, that feeling of overwhelm can overtake you and shut you down completely. It's funny because, I had this, a coaching session on this recently with a client, and she didn't realize that I probably have the overwhelm conversation with my clients more than you would think. It really happens so often. So if this is really happening to you, trust me, you are not alone. It is very normal. Okay. Just want to let you know that that's all of us feel that, right? Especially if you're a perfectionist. How many of you guys are perfectionists? Do me a favor, put in the chat, I am. If you are a perfectionist and you find yourself being a perfectionist, just type in "I am" in the comments on the Facebook, and by the way, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and type it in there too. I keep pointing over here because my other screen is over here. Just go ahead and put that in the comments there as well. Love to hear your feedback. Yes, I am. Yeah. Okay. See, it's very, very normal for people. Okay. So then how do we combat that? Now, I want to actually start out with something that I think it's really interesting. And let's talk about growth for a second. Okay. Whenever you're in a growing mode, you're growing your business, you're learning new things. Maybe you're in a coaching program, maybe you're in one of our programs. Okay. The thing to understand is that growth is not normally on the pattern that you think. So I just want to share with you, this is how most people think growth is supposed to go, right? So it's just kind of like the steady ebb and flow. That's actually not it. Okay, I'm going to show you actually what growth really is. It's this. Okay, it's messy. Growth is messy. Okay, so we really need to understand that the growth is really simply, it takes a while and it's going to take the time it takes. So when you're growing, that perfectionist thing that happens, you think that it's supposed to be that straight line and it's not. It's messy. So, and it's allowed to be messy. We try to make it not as messy as possible, but it really does get messy. So I want to share with you then, let's kind of deep dive into this question again, and how do I combat the feeling of overwhelm and shut down? So first thing to understand is that people do things for two reasons and two reasons only. Okay. It's either to avoid pain or it is to gain pleasure. All right. To avoid pain or to gain pleasure. So when we're talking about you and that feeling of overwhelm, let's say that you've got a project that you've got to get done. Okay. Maybe you've got a big mail out that's got to go, and maybe you just really don't like to create the mailers or whatever it is. Right. So you will either say, "Oh, I'll just do it next week because this other thing feels really good to do." Right? Like maybe what you really want to do is just spend some time on Facebook and going in there, and that's really great for you, but you really don't want to have to put this mailer out. Okay. Well, you're avoiding pain if you're not doing the project, but you're also gaining pleasure because you're getting those hits of dopamine when you see the likes and comments on the stuff that you have on Facebook. Okay. So that is part of it. Okay. Now, this is a really interesting thing, and it's really counterintuitive, and I think it's important for you guys to understand. Whenever you're in overwhelm and you don't want to do something and then you don't do it, you actually feel guilty. That's very normal. So you'll start feeling guilty. The guilt, for most people, that's not the catalyst to go and do the thing that they need to get done. When they feel guilty, they want to go find pleasure. So they still don't do the thing, and they want to go get that hit of dopamine some more, because shame is a big feeling for a lot of people. Guilt is a big feeling for a lot of people. So when we are doing things and we're not doing them, and we know we need to do them, we have shame about that. And then we want to go do something that we really like to do to help us not feel the shame. And then it's this never ending spiral that happens. Okay. So the first thing to understand is the pain and pleasure principle. When you're feeling that overwhelm, it's going, okay, what am I afraid of right now? What is giving me pain? If I go do this thing, what pain will I feel? Okay, that's the first thing. All right. Or what pleasure is getting in the way that maybe I need to take away? So what I want to do is I want to give you a strategy around conquering that overwhelm and conquering those feelings of overwhelm and then getting stuck. And we're going to talk about something called chunking down. Now, you probably have heard that term before, chunking down, but I want to give you my take on it because I think it's really helpful. So the first thing to understand is we got to know what the thing is. All right. So what needs to be done? All right. Now I'm going to give you an example of one of my clients, and she was way behind on getting all of her P&L data filled in. She didn't want to do the data. Okay. So what we did, we figured out, okay, what needs to be done. So she needed to get all that data in so she could catch up doing her profit and loss statement. The next thing we figured out is how much total time would it take? So for her, we figured that would probably take her 5 hours total time to get all the data in. By the way, she does not like data entry at all, but it would take about 5 hours to get all the data entry done. All right. Now, here's the next thing that's important. I want you guys to understand something called the time tolerance. Time tolerance. I asked her, okay, when you're doing that thing, how much time do you think you can do before you go, oh man, I hate this, I want to quit? That's her time tolerance. Okay. She figured that it would be about 30 minutes she could do this before she felt, oh my gosh, I want to quit. We want to make sure you're living within your time tolerance. So for her, it was 30 minutes. Okay. So then here's what we do. We divide that total time. So she said 5 hours by her time tolerance, which was 30 minutes. Basically what that gave us is she had 10 different days that she needed to get everything caught up. So that was really exciting for her because she figured, oh my gosh, yes, I can do that. That's manageable. Because here's what was happening. She knew she had to do all of this stuff. She ended up avoiding it, feeling shame, avoiding it more because she thought she had to sit down for that entire 5 hours and get it caught up. It's not. We're going to chunk things down into bite-sized pieces so you can actually take care of it. Now, if you're one of those people that gets overwhelmed, first of all, please give yourself permission that it's okay not to have to do everything all at once. It's okay. What we want to make sure is that you can actually manage it, chunk it down, and get it done and work within your time tolerance. So what she did, she divided that total time of 5 hours by that 30-minute time tolerance, and that basically gave her those 10 days. So then what she did, I said, okay, which days can you do that? So we actually went back to her calendar and we discovered for her that the best way to get it done, she normally starts her day at 9 o'clock. We said, okay, could you come in a half an hour early every day for 10 days? And that's all, just 10 days, and get that done just for 30 minutes. And she goes, yeah, I can totally do that. I said, awesome. Okay, so we got that on her calendar. So now she knows that she's got these 10 days. By the way, she wasn't doing 10 days in a row. It was 5 times and then having some time off and then 5 times. So she was taking her weekend off, which is Thursday, Friday. So she got that managed. She's on the calendar now. Now, this next part might really surprise you. Okay, first of all, we got to understand, how will that feel when you get that accomplished? We want to anchor in the feeling of accomplishment. We want to make sure that we start associating that thing that you're doing and you've chunked down into manageable pieces into pleasure and not pain. So how will you feel when you get that thing done? And then finally, you need to be accountable, but I want to share with you the idea of accountability here. You don't want to be accountable that you got it done because that's not pleasurable. You want to be accountable to someone that you can celebrate that you got it done with. Different take. Different take. Here's the thing. Yes. So Jessica says, that's really amazing. I never thought of it that way. You're right, Jessica. Here's the thing. When you have changed something from a pain to a pleasure, and we anchor those things, you're more likely to want to do those things in the future, right? So maybe it's your lead generation. Maybe it is having to call some people you haven't talked to in a long time. Maybe it's having just to sit down and go through your systems and write some systems. It could be so many different things. So this is really, when you're chunking it down, this is the system that you can go through to ensure that you are getting all of that done. Okay, is this making sense for everybody? Do me a favor, say yes in the chat if that is making sense to you. And of course, if you are watching us inside of the inside the Facebook group, do me a favor, if it's either the replay or you're inside the group now, do me a favor, let me know. Is that making sense? Is it making sense for you? Okay. Yes, 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 it does. Okay, good. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. So the question is, when you say chunking down, is that for the whole project or is it that for the whole day? For all of the activities? Is that what you're saying, David? Just go, yeah, just go ahead and put that in the chat. Is that okay? Sometimes your entire day gets away from you. Yes. So here's the thing to understand. On anything that you have got on your must-do list for the day, okay? Anything on your must-do list. Remember, if you erase, you must replace. If you erase, you must replace. So if you had an item that was supposed to be there, so let's say that you were supposed to do 2 hours of lead generation in the morning and you got 1 hour done. If you erase, you must replace. That means that we need to find that next hour, okay, in coming up. Now, let's say that your time tolerance is only 2 hours and you're willing to do maybe a half an hour extra. Okay. You can take that 1 hour and then spread it over 2 days. That's possible, right? We simply want to make sure that we're understanding that time tolerance. So you're walking through your day. Now, sometimes you have those days that completely get away from you. Anybody been there, done that? Type me in the chat if that has been you before. Okay. If you are the kind of person that your entire day got away from you, just type me in the chat. me, yes, me. Okay. You know what? Sometimes those days, you just got to let them go. Now, you don't want to let them go all the time. We want to start really focusing on the plan that you're following. But basically, that happens sometimes. Sometimes that is just basically it, right? You got to do the best that you can do. And that's about it. Okay. So is this helpful for everybody? Chunking it down, does this make sense for you? Is this something that you could use? That this makes sense in your world? Type I would. I would use this. I would in the chat if this is something that you would do. Also, if you're watching this in the replay, please go ahead and put I would in the chat. I do go back and read those comments. I sure appreciate it. Wonderful. Okay. Fantastic. So let's go into a couple other things. I've had some other questions from people about certain things. I wanted to, so someone asked me, what is my favorite book that I'm reading right now? So I want to share that with you. So it's this wonderful book. It's called Dotcom Secrets. It's by Russell Brunson. He's kind of fabulous. By the way, I wanted to show it to you live here because you're going to see like all of my Post-it notes in here. Like I'm a Post-it note person. So like when I'm doing stuff, I'm writing my notes, so I'm kind of one of those, like it's a hardback and I still fold pages. So one of those things. So great book. I highly suggest it. Especially for you guys who are really trying to get into the whole social thing in order to be really kind of building your business from a framework of being online. That could be on LinkedIn. It could be on through funnels. It could be on YouTube. Could be all sorts of things. Russell is really a fantastic author, and he does a lot of good things. He actually runs the companies called ClickFunnels. Haven't heard from them. He's great. Okay. The next thing that I want to share with you is so you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, you understand that I'm a huge ChatGPT fan. And I just saw this particular video yesterday, and it's by a guy named Jeff Sue. And here's the thing, you want to watch this one. I'm going to go ahead and let me put I'll put this link in the chat, and I will also put it in the replay. You guys will be able to see it, but I'm going to put this in the chat. But basically, Jeff is fantastic. So he's been studying prompt engineering with ChatGPT for a while, and he put together this wonderful, and I'm seriously wonderful, tutorial on how to create the perfect prompt. I've been playing with it this morning and it's fantastic. So it's master the perfect ChatGPT prompt formula in just 8 minutes. Strongly encourage you, if you're really starting to use ChatGPT, especially for all of your content creation, or for your social posts, or for your email campaigns, or for items of value, anything that you're wanting to do, or even to really understand your ideal client. You guys know that I've done a masterclass on that very recently, which you can find here in the group as well. Really fantastic. Okay. Now the next thing you guys have asked me is, what is my favorite tech I'm using right now? So I want to show you, first of all, and my clients will get really sick of me showing this because I absolutely love it. So this is, I'll call checklist.com. Checklist.com, really simple. It is such a great checklist app. By the way, this it has, you can have apps and it all connects. So you've got it on like all your different computers. So you have team checklists, you can do that. You could have it just for you on your phone and on your tablet on here, but you can take control of all of your things. So I have like all my templates here. And then, like, for example, these are all of my daily checklists. So you've got kind of all the stuff that I'm going through all the day. So I always just kind of have with me exactly it. I'm a checklist person. So for all of you guys who geek out on lists, I'm that person. I do have my tasks that I need to get done for the day, right? I have my must-do list. Okay. And those are things that really don't change, but these are tasks that are they're just like, this is my must-do list, have to happen every single day. That's my checklist. And then there might be project work that I have that doesn't necessarily go on my checklist, but that's how I use that. The next thing, now this might be surprising to you. I've been a Canva fan for a long time. And what I am now really pleased with, if you guys have the Adobe Creative Cloud, I have all their apps, and they have something called Adobe Express. And by the way, you're going to look at this, you're going to see it looks very much like Canva. Here's the thing. It's a little bit more intuitive than Canva. It is very similar to use, but it is so easy just to find your things, right? So if I have all of my brand stuff in here, like I got all of my brand kit, I've got my PNGs, things that I've got, it's real easy to find it. I can also schedule things out in advance on my social media directly from Adobe Express. Okay. And it is really, really usable. Here's one thing I love about it. So let's just say I'm going to be doing a social media, and I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to do a Facebook post, right? So let's say that I created this Facebook post right here. Okay. Wonderful. Love it. But I really want to turn it into an Instagram post. Okay. But I'm in a square mode right now. I could actually go over to here. I can add a new page, or I can save it, but I can actually save it in a different size. Okay. So it's nice and easy. I can just add things. I'm telling you, I love it. I just switched over this week, and I'm finding that I absolutely love Adobe Express. Okay. Has this been helpful for everybody? Talking a little bit about tackling overwhelm, chunking down. Okay. Any other questions? I want to make sure. Let me look at our group here. Make sure we don't have any other questions on the live stream. And by the way, do me in the chat. Has this been helpful? Say yes in the chat if this has been helpful for you. That would be great. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. Very helpful. Good. All right. What's your biggest takeaway? Type in the chat what your biggest takeaway was. Okay. Love it. Okay. Okay. So we're really talking about the time tolerance. Time tolerance. Yes. Okay. The book. Fantastic. Good stuff there. I love it. Checklist.com. Got it. Yeah, absolutely. All of these things just to help you be a bit more efficient. Guys, I just want to thank you so much. This is always so fun for me every week to get to do this with you. By the way, I want to invite you to join me. If you're thinking about your business, right, and you're thinking about really wanting to improve your business, maybe you've been thinking about a coaching program or a training program for a while now, I would love to sit down and chat with you. So happy to do that with you. So we could just plan on like a 15-minute 10 to 15-minute chat just to see if that's something that you would like to do. I'm going to put my Calendly link here in the chat. I will also be putting it in the replay here on the video underneath the description of the video, so you guys can watch that. But basically, if you want to, you can grab that that link out of the chat, and here's all you'll have to do. Once you get there, it'll take you to this page. Simply go ahead and click on that. You can just click on a time and then fill out the information, and then we'll just get that scheduled. I always love talking to you, and you know, maybe it is, maybe I've got something that'll help you, maybe I don't, and I can point you to a different resource. But I always like talking with people in our group. You guys are fantastic. I love the Breakthrough Crew, and I so appreciate when you spend just a little bit of time with me on Thursdays. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you later.